Hello, it's me, and got a package from one of my original favorite builders, from Tom van der Zanden. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But anyway, he was actually what started this all. He was the first guy that I ever got a Shapeways puzzle from, a three-dimensionally printed puzzle, and that was the original 3x4x5. So that 3x4x5 was what started it all, that kind of introduced me to three-dimensional printing, that introduced me to these types of puzzles. Okay, getting closer. Come across here too. Now, if this is what I think it is, my hope is that this is only the beginning of a series of puzzles that I plan on getting to help really complete what I call an extended series. And in future videos, I'll tell you what I mean by an extended series. These are puzzles that look kind of like each other, but are different, but have a certain central theme. So that will extend that. So let's see what brilliant thing Tom has in store for us here. Aha, okay. It's smaller. He does make nice compact puzzles. Okay, so you can see that it's an octahedron. Now there's different types of octahedrons that are out there. There's face turning and then there's corner turning. This one is a face turning octahedron. And it is exactly the kind of quality I've come to expect from Tom. There's one layer here, here's another layer. Now this is actually not just a face turning octahedron, it's a master face turning octahedron. So it's the master version of this. You can see that the size is pretty much the same, actually exactly the same, it just has more layers, which is good because it makes it more portable. But anyway, this is the face turning version here, which has 1, 2, 3 layers. So I guess you can look at that as a 3-layer puzzle. This has 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what's interesting about this kind of puzzle is it has a similarity to the solve of another kind of a puzzle, which is this, the Master's Cube. So the Master's Cube is a lot like the face-turning octahedron. So my initial thoughts were maybe this is the next step up with that. And maybe this is kind of like an Elite's cube. So I'm just going to look at the motion here. We'll cut one way pretty well. And this moves very smoothly over here. So this is a pure puzzle. It does not shapeshift, doesn't have that aspect to it. It just scrambles in more complete ways. And I'm just wondering if I can isolate the different layers, just like I did with the Master's Cube. What was fun about the solve of this is I actually used a variety of different techniques to solve it. It has kind of a cube type look to it. So I solved these things here as just like a diamond cube, and then I solved these guys here as a Master's Cube with a very similar kind of algorithm. So I'm going to look to see, because you've got the face turning over here, and you've got this layer and this layer. So I'm going to see if maybe I do this by a reductive technique or just by adding commutators towards this other layer over there. So anyway, there you have it. Master face turning octahedron, a part of a whole set of an extended type of a collection that I'm going to have, or an extended type of a collection set, which you'll see in the future. Anyway, I'll come back at some point, potentially with a video solve of this and more of a demonstration. Thanks for watching. Hello, it's me, and time to add to the ever-expanding collection. Oh, and Noah, I'm sorry. Otherwise known as, I guess, Mr. Blues? Looms?
Yeah,
Looms, Mr. Blues Looms. Yes, Mr. You know, you should introduce the other guy who's in those videos, too. Your cousin. Right?
Oh, yeah, my cousin is the video cameraman.
He's the video cameraman. Anyway, we are now going to attempt, without cutting myself wide open, to unbox this from Thailand. This comes from Traypoom. He is a guy who makes a lot of great puzzles, a lot of great mods. And I'm going to try to do this in a way that's as inefficient as, there we go, possible. Because why do things, there we go. Okay, we're off to a good start. We'll do it from this angle here. Gotcha. So what do you think it is?
puzzle.
It's a puzzle. Now you see the other puzzles I have set up there, right?
Yeah,
they
I
can't see it, but you can see it.
Yep.
So what shape do you think it is?
A triangle.
A triangle. Well, a triangle is 2 dimensions. So what's a triangle in 3 dimensions? What do you call a triangle in 3 dimensions?
3 dimensions.
A 3-dimensional triangle. You call that a... What do they have in Egypt?
Pyramid. Oh yeah, pyramid.
Pyramid. How many sides does a triangle have? Does a pyramid have?
A pyramid has 3 sides.
A pyramid does not have 3 sides. Go ahead and count them right now.
1, 2, 3. 3 sides.
No, you missed that one.
Oh, 4 sides.
4. It's 4 sides. So if something has 4 sides, here we go. We call that a tetra, right? Tetrahedron. Oh wow, look at this. Well, you can see there's a lot of other goodies in here, such as stickers, should stickers become an issue. So, let's take a look at this. You know, it's Trapum, so you know it's high quality, and you know it's going to fulfill a hole in my collection. Wow. I really love unboxing Trapum's products, because they're so professionally done. They look like they're out of a factory. Clink. So this is a pyramid-looking thing, right? So this is what's called a tetrahedron. Okay, so we take a look, and let's look at the different sides here. We have 1, 2, 3. So 3 sides. This is actually the master version, let me put that here, of this. This is a Jing's pyraminx. Jing's pyraminx is basically a cube. Moves across here, here's one here, and then you've got this other layer here. So it's kind of it's a 2-layered puzzle. This is 1, 2, 3. So this together here would be a Jing's pyraminx, but now we have an extra layer here. It's a puzzle that does not shapeshift, so it's pure, and it has kind of a cube quality to it, but they have this extra layer here. Now there's a reason that I'm getting something like this, is that there's sort of a overlying theme that's happening with a lot of these newer puzzles that I'm getting. Because I always thought, I mean, here's a pyraminx. This is a tetrahedral type shape. It's kind of a, I guess you can say it's face turning. It turns out this face, but in any case, there's this, and there's the master pyraminx. I'd say this is a 2-layer puzzle, 1-layer, 2-layer. This is a 3-layer, 1, 2, 3. No, I do not count the trivial tip here. I don't count that because it doesn't enter into the scramble or the solve. This really just pivots around. So if it doesn't enter into the scramble or solve, it just pivots around. I really don't count that as a separate solvable layer. As a matter of fact, you can hack that down and end up with a different puzzle that doesn't have that. But I always thought of this as a combination because it's like a pyraminx in that it's 2 layers, but it has the center, as you would see in a master pyraminx. So I wanted to see what it would be like if I have this guy over here, which is sort of like a version of this. Pretty cool. So I'm going to see how to solve this, and my thinking is that if this is a cube type puzzle, and that's really what it is, it can be solved as a cube, solved exactly as a cube, then this would be like a master's cube. As a matter of fact, I think this was made from a master's cube. So I'm curious about how I can solve this as a master's cube, or solve this as potentially something like this. So anyway, there you have it, as I grow the collection. And we'll talk about what the common theme with this is at some portion in the future. Thanks for watching. Hello, it's me, and it's time for another unboxing. And I've got a couple, actually, that should be coming in. Anyway, this box was actually already ravaged and open, so I'm going to just open it and see what we've got. And, so... this one might cause a little bit of a question in certain people's minds because it might look familiar of another puzzle. But there's actually a reason for this, which I'll get into. This puzzle comes from a guy by the name of Cubulum, I think. In any case, he reminds me a lot of Trapum for reasons that you're about to find out. Just going to peel this over here. Take off the fascial layer, and what we have here is you can maybe vaguely make out the tetrahedral shape. I've been getting into tetrahedrons recently because I find them to be, well, fascinating. Anyway, so this is, well, it's a tetrahedron. Moves really smooth. Now, to those who've been seeing these unboxings know that I already actually got a tetrahedron, which is this guy over here. So what's the basic difference between these? Well, as you can see, the structure is pretty much the same. You have these tips. The color scheme is different. You got this over here and this over here. You've seen me roll out this tetrahedron. This one actually is by Trepum. This is modified. This is actually taken from one of these guys, which is a master's cube, and put into tetrahedron form. So this was taken to make this. This is a little different. This is actually three-dimensionally printed. So as such, the movement is different. And I was fascinating about the difference between them, but the solve strategy is the same. The movement is the same. So why did I get those? Well, what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a comparison, a side-by-side comparison to what I think is the best of three-dimensional printing and the best of modding. I don't think it gets much better than Trepum. And the guy who did this also made this, the Praxis Cube, the shape modification of a Rex Cube. Well, this he also had made, and it's similarly very, very smooth. I really like this puzzle, but it does tend to pop if I don't have it lined up exactly right, because I think it kind of limits the ability of modification. But this is an example of ground up, and I think you can even corner cut, but I don't think there's quite as much popping that happens with this. The movement is incredibly smooth, so there's a degree of stability with this. And one of the things that I've been searching and seeking out is, where do I really want to go when expanding my collection? Do I want to go down the 3D printed route, or do I want to go the modification route? So mods are much more affordable and much more reliable. Normally I'd go through Shapeways, but Shapeways gives you such a difficult time with getting all the pieces right, having misprints, and it became a huge endeavor just to get a puzzle that you want printed. Plus, you've got that sort of nylon-y feel. This represents a much higher order kind of three-dimensional printing. So I wanted to do a puzzle-by-puzzle comparison of if I wanted to stress the mods or just stress the higher order three-dimensional printing. And already I can tell you that this really has a very smooth feel to it. The solve experience is probably the same, well, is the same. But anyway, just to put it into perspective, here's the Jing's pyraminx. So you can consider this maybe a higher order version. Let's see if I can, well, maybe not. But you can consider this a higher order version of this, just as you would over here. But this is to this, so the Jing's pyraminx is to the Scube, as the master tetrahedron, which is what this is to the master Scube. So the solve experience is very similar with that, and at some point I'll go through that, but you can see the similarity. So this is really just a shape mod of this, but it has its own kind of pure form to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to this concept later after I play around with it a little bit. And when I start doing demonstrations, I'm going to do the kind of comparison that I was talking about. But in any case, this is, like I say, higher order three-dimensional printing. I don't know how much more I'm going to be doing Shapeways puzzles, but I may just want to do three-dimensional printing of this nature. I see something similar with Klaus's work. Klaus had some really great three-dimensional printing, but the stability of this, I mean, this feels like plastic. It doesn't have that nylon feel at all. And because it's a bottom-up kind of a design, it really lends to a great degree of stability. Anyway, there you have it. More tetrahedral and other type of unboxings to come. Thanks for watching. Hello, it's me, and time for another unboxing. This one comes from, well, Trepum. So it could be anything. Trepum is among the master of mods, the king of cuboids, tyrant of tetrahedrons. Anyway, let's see what he's got for us today. Okay. I've gone down to the newspaper layer, so you know that I'm getting deeper and deeper. Aha. So we see what appears to be another tetrahedral type structure. And let's see what we've got going on here. Okay. So, like all of Trepum's work, it looks like it's masterfully done, with all the quality of a mass-produced puzzle. Actually, even better, I would say. Okay, so you see another tetrahedron. This is not unlike the other tetrahedron that he has over here, as I look at all the various other types of tetrahedrons that he has, that I bought from him over the years. This one is Megamorphics. This is a 4x4 Megamorphics puzzle. Very nice moving. This one is the master tetrahedron, which is a shape modification of the master's cube. This guy, let's see what this one is all about. You can see that we move on the face over here. See these slices over here? Well, this is a lot like what the Praxis cube is a shape modification of. This is actually a tetrahedral version of the Rex cube. Let's see, does it shapeshift? I don't know. I don't think that it does. Well, in any case, ever since looking at solving and playing with the Praxis cube, I've been pretty fascinated with other shape modifications of the Rex cube. So you see these pedals here, this pedal here. So it moves similarly, and I'm wondering if I can apply the same strategies as the Praxis cube. This almost has sort of a Praxis-like look to it. But anyway, this is a master tetrahedron. I'm sorry, this is a master... This is a Rex cube modified into a tetrahedron. So I'm curious to see how this thing will solve and what kind of characteristics that it has. I'm still wondering if this shape shifts, but I don't think that it does. Now let me see. Move this over here. Yeah, every move that I do seems to bring it back to its native shape. Anyway, there you have it there. I'll get more into detail about the structure of this, but this is a shape modification of a Rex cube. So this is to this as a shape modification. You can see the pedals here correlating with the pedals over here. And you get two flavors of pedals. You've got these guys here that just look like more three-dimensional pedals, versions of the pedals over here. And then you've got the flatter pedals, which are, well, I guess they're not exactly flat, but these guys over here too. So a nicely stable puzzle. So this is to this as this guy is to this. So these are all the cubic versions of the tetrahedrons, and this is just a cubic version of a 4x4. So that's how you can variate these shapes. And if I roll this one out again, it's really just a variation of the Praxis cube. Believe it or not, the Praxis was the original, then came the Rex cube, and then Trefum's version of the tetrahedron. So as I spur into my tetrahedral phase, I will show you a whole lot of different puzzles regarding that. So, till the next time, thanks for watching.